hear many of the Shanyue have surrendered to Wu, and it appears things have remained peaceful.
Surprising, given how deep their animosity was. Is this a testament to Lord Xuanquan's skills, or...
He only agreed to peace, because in a fit of temper, I suggested I'd have no part in a war against them.
You call that a fit? But looking back on Lord Sun Quan's words, I feel that this may have been the right choice.
Hold on, there's one thing I need to say before we end the conversation. Huang Gai, don't you think you've been stealing all the attention lately?
Maybe so, but it seems that this time I've stood out in a negative way. My words and actions have created a rift in the kingdom, and I must accept responsibility for that. Even so, I don't intend to stop voicing my opinions, because that type of open discussion is what we should strive to achieve in Wu. If for some reason my voice is ever silenced, then...
Hey, stop with that nonsense, Huang Gai. Remember, what must you do above all else? Lord Sun Quan has entrusted you with governing Shanyue. That's a major task you ought to focus on.
Right. Stop being so gloomy about everything, or you'll make Zhou Yu irritable again. Although, I suppose I can't talk. I've been pretty negative myself.
You're right. I have duties I ought to be focusing on before anything else.
Now that Jiangdong is at last peaceful, our next military objective will be...
To defeat Huanzu once and for all? Surely? I doubt anyone would disagree.
I hope you're not saying that because of your personal vendetta.
Ling Tong wanting to avenge his father is no different than how all of us wish to take revenge for Lord Sun Jian. If such objectives remain unfulfilled, the morale of our troops will suffer.
I'm also in favor of going to war with Huangzu. It's high time we settled things.
Likewise. I should very much like to see him slain. However, as the leader of Wu, I must weigh up the benefits and drawbacks of that decision. I do not think we should rush into a war with him, unless we stand to benefit in a significant way.
If that's your concern, then you needn't fret, as his territory is in Jing province. It has immense strategic value. Cao Cao has conquered Hubei after defeating Yuan Shao at Guandu, and is now looking to expand south, starting with Jing.
There are also signs that he had a hand in the rebellion at Lujiang. The threat he poses is becoming more and more immediate. The proposal makes military sense. We'd be removing a threat, solidifying our foundations, and positioning ourselves to be ready for war.
Indeed. Lord Zhou Yu, always taking the words out of my mouth. We should take Xiakou, then conquer Jing, and finally invade Bashu, to control the entirety of the southern half of the realm.
Lord Lu Su, did you really just say what I think you did?
Tell me, why would we do all of that?
It would be a means of protecting the people of Wu from Cao Cao. Cao Cao controls virtually the whole of the north, but if we take all of the south, he'll become unable to move against us.
A daring plan, to say the least. That path could lead to our lord controlling the entire realm.
Me? Controlling the realm?
You are very much capable of such a thing, my lord. Each and every one of us believes that.
So I have your trust. Then our next objective shall be Xiakou in Jing province. We will bring down Huangzu and avenge my father. Things have escalated quickly. In truth, I thought ruling the realm might one day be our aim. But now that I've heard those words from the others, the sheer weight of that idea is mind-boggling. Maybe you're right. Overthinking has long been a bad habit of mine. My brother once told me that it can also be a strength. But anything can be detrimental in excess. Everyone is excited about taking down Huangzu, at the prospect of conquest and revenge. However, it seems evident to me that I am perhaps the one who most desperately wishes to see him dead. When I avenge our father, which is something even my brother could not do, I may finally be able to see myself as their equal. I think then, I will be able to consider even greater ambitions, without fear or hesitation. When Sa died, I realized that I'm the selfish kind of man. I want to share in the sadness, the anger, the passion felt by the others. Yet, I always end up choosing the most logical or convenient path for me. But, in this upcoming battle, I will defeat Huangzu, no matter what. Then, I will be able to move forward as the leader of Wu. I will be relying on your skills out there.
Let's begin. Now then.
Yes.
Hi.
It is I, Sun Shangshang, the Bow Maiden.
Don't let me down now. We will defeat our longtime nemesis and advance yet further. This battle will decide the future of our kingdom. We'll fight by your side. There is no reason for us to fear Guangzhou now. We shall capture the enemy's bases, one by one.
The enemy officer has been defeated. Ling Tong, avenge your father, but do not be reckless.
I know, Lord Louis Meng. I will take down Gan Ning. Calmly and with certainty.
An expedition to Bash is essential to
The enemy officer.
Onward, everyone!
This territory is ours.
We march at once!
Like the name you made for yourself.
The enemy
I know
officer
you've earned every bit of
has
it,
been
of course.
defeated.
It's a stalemate. We must find a way to get on top.
What falls behind me?
The enemy officer's strategy has been defeated. Way to victory. The enemy officer has been
Keep
defeated.
moving forward just like you planned. We will set off their trap and get them to lower their guard.
With all my might.
Take this!
You never fail
The
to
enemy
impress
officer
with your feet.
has been defeated.
Let's go.
Go! Take the fight to them! Stop their advance!
Keep calm. It's not much of a trap if we know it's coming.
It does not matter how many times you attack! We will send you running right back home!
The enemy officer has been defeated.
All of you, follow me!
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Can't believe this!
The enemy officer has been defeated. The enemy officer has been defeated. This territory is ours. Let's go.
Proper strategy is the quickest way to victory.
Now, let's go!
The path we must walk is set.
Onward! Everyone! Start the advance!
With all my might.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Take this!
Upper hand.
The enemy officer
Make the most
has
of
been
this.
defeated. This territory is ours.
I challenge you to battle. Prepare yourself.
The enemy officer
You dominate the battlefield. You really are a true warrior of the Three Kingdoms.
can't believe it. The enemy officer has been defeated. This territory. The enemy officer has been defeated.
Begin the advance. All units, march! Begin the advance!
With all my might.
Strong. Tight. Languid.
Keep pushing to the end. The enemy's main hold is right in front of us.
Situation.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Not done yet.
Now, advance!
Let's go. End it here.
The enemy front has overextended.
Good. Send out the ships. We're going after Sun Quan.
Looks like it's finally our time to shine.
The enemy officer
go.
has been defeated.
They've taken the bait. Go and eradicate them. Such an obvious trap won't faze us in the slightest. Now push them back.
Take this!
Situation.
You've accomplished more than I could have hoped. Been defeated.
Got this. Let's go. You're outstriking everyone else.
The enemy officer.
I must study and learn your ways.
On me, we have the perfect use for a group like yourself. Tear into the enemy forces and get to Swan Chui.
Pompous little... Forget it. I'll do my job. Simple as that.
Advance.
There he is at last. He is mine. East, advance now.
Quicker.
Ling Tong has gone after Gan Ning. Then I should also make a move. But take an enemy ship and enter into their stronghold.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
The ship is now ours. Prepare to set sail.
Anyone who is willing to join the assault on their stronghold, gather here.
So, it's you. I should have expected this. Needless to say, no holding back. There'll be no regrets or grudges when this is over.
End this.
I lost.
Here comes our prey. Punch it. Slay them all.
Just Lord Zhou you say. All of you, stay calm. I got a bit carried away. Time to retreat.
Lord Limong, we are ready to sail. Good. And none have been left behind? Then we will head straight for their base.
Damn it. We weren't able to get Gan Ning. No matter. First things first, we must finish this battle. Advance now.
Good. We fought off the enemy's offensive. Let us advance as well.
Forward march.
There is little to worry about with your presence here.
Send here.
I've been waiting.
Just work strongly.
The enemy officer.
All in defeated. Come with me. We're going to lay waste to the enemy's stronghold. Forward march. This is what we've been waiting for. Attack!
The enemy was one step ahead. Invested. The enemy officer.
The enemy has been wiped out. Then it's time to take the fight to Guangzhou once more. Commence the advance.
Prepare yourself, Guangzhou.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
What? How have the enemy gotten this far? We must stop their attack here. Begin the advance. We will not run. Our battle in Sun Quan will be decided here and now. Start the advance. I knew you would come. Prepare for battle, Chop Chop. Let's show them what we can do. At last, we will be able to avenge our former lord. For us at Lordborn, nothing could be more satisfying. That does not lessen our regret. Still, it will allow us some closure of sorts if we can hunt him down.
The enemy officer
High time
has been
we brought
defeated.
this to a conclusion. Once we do, our kingdom can finally look forward to the future. Time to go in the offensive. Get ready, everyone! I challenge you to battle. Prepare yourself.
Things are really heating up, aren't they?
Just the entrance stage.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Nani,
So you alive? The enemy officer has been defeated.
Gotcha! Oh, you got it! We're worried about the
The enemy officer has been
Now
defeated.
we're getting somewhere. Let's keep this momentum going.
An exalted result.
The enemy officer has been defeated. The enemy officer time is in. Has been defeated. I give up. We'll resist no further. The enemy officer has been defeated. The enemy officer has been defeated.
How graceful you were. I can't help but gaze at your feet.
Okay, let's do this! How's that?
The enemy officer has been defeated.
At least I made a mark on the battlefield. Got nothing more to say.
Take this.
Whatever happens now, it's up to you.
Let's get serious.
Can't believe this.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
So the things have finally reached me. Perhaps this was inevitable.
We finally did it. We've defeated our nemesis. Shout out in triumph, as fiercely as roaring tigers!
It's over, isn't it?
Yes. We have finally avenged our father. And thanks to all of you, I've now accomplished something that even my brother could not do.
Brother, there's something I've been thinking. You ought to believe in yourself more. I'm not sure anyone other than you could have succeeded in defeating Huangzu.
I'm not so sure. But I'd like to believe you're right. Whatever the case may be, we shall no longer be haunted by our father's death. We can move forward as a kingdom. Let us continue to pursue our path to a safer and more prosperous nation.
Right, we have a lot to live up to. We mustn't forget, even for a moment, our pride as members of the Swan clan.
We will lay down our arms and surrender. None of us wish to give our lives for Huangzu. Quite the rationalist. My service to him was bought with coin. I'm not so dutiful as to die for such a man.
Gunning, what about you?
I mean, I'd rather live, but...
Good. That makes things simpler. And even if you did give yourself up, I wouldn't have accepted your surrender.
I'm not surprised. I've got nothing to say as long as you take Sufei in. So go on, take your revenge. We all know that when you go into battle, there will be hatred on both sides. And when the dust settles, the loser rarely forgives the victor. That's why I won't beg for my life, nor will I apologize for killing your father.
Well, that is a rational outlook. My lord, executing someone as formidable as Gan Ning would be a waste. He would surely prove himself extremely valuable to our kingdom.
Wait a minute, Lord Zhou Yu. You cannot be serious.
I am sorry, Ling Tong. But I was thinking the same thing.
Lord Sun Quan, you have taken your revenge by defeating Huangzu. But I still haven't avenged my own father.
I know. I know how bitter and miserable you feel. But for now, I want you to direct that hatred at me instead. I cannot bring myself to have him executed after seeing his strength firsthand. I know it may be hard to stomach, but for Wu to make progress, we must gather as many soldiers as we can, and even let go of our grudges if need be. That is why we made peace with the Shanyue the way we did. And you are wise. You must know this already.
But Lord Sun Quan,
Ling Tong, wait!
Are you sure? I would be like kindling in Wu. One wrong step, and I'll end up burning the whole place down.
If you are kindling, then we just need to find the right use for you. We need men with experience in naval combat, and you certainly have that.
Oh, and what for?
The major warlords in the realm are preparing to fight over Jing province. Myself included.
Bringing Lord Ling Cao's killer into the fold, and then asking Ling Tong to fight alongside him. That is rather cruel.
I suppose there's no way I can keep my distance from him now. While I understand his resentment toward me, he acts so aggressively I can't help but wonder if he still intends to kill me. And since I prefer to avoid injury or death, I was hoping I could ask you for some advice.
Sorry to say, the only help I can give is handling the aftermath of your fights. In the end, the two of you are going to have to resolve things on your own. Still, Ling Tong may be young, but he has a sense of how things ought to be. And he knows full well that Wu needs you. The only question is whether he can make his heart obey his mind.
So what? I need to appeal to his emotions somehow? I wouldn't really have a clue how to go about that. I'm telling you, we need to get this sorted out, or one of us is going to end up out of action for...
If you're going to clash with one another, why not choose a way that won't put your lives at risk? Like a game of Go.
Me? Play Go?
Ling Tong's quite the master at that game. You won't have a chance unless you practice a lot.
I'd never be able to beat him.
Well, that's too bad. Whatever you do, you're going to have to prove in earnest and through action that you're someone worthy of his trust. Anyway, look after him, will you? You're much more battle-hardened than he is.
I suppose I'll have to. I'll just have to be careful not to aggravate him, though.
Have you heard the news? Liu Biao of Jing died the other day. And Cao Cao is not a man to miss an opportunity. I'm sure he will begin his southward advance.
Should he take Jing province, his conquest of the realm will become virtually unstoppable. For Wu to survive in the face of such a threat, we must strengthen our kingdom until we have the power to rival him, and that will require more territory.
Yes, and we must do so as soon as possible. Otherwise, it will fall into Cao Cao's hands. But first, there is something we must do in preparation. A task you two would be well suited for. I want you to act as messengers to send our condolences and meet with Liu Biao's successor, Liu Song. While there, find Liu Bei, who is said to be staying with him, and subtly ask him to join our side.
There is, however, a possibility that Cao Cao has already made a move. He did consider Liu Bei a threat, after all.
You're a longtime acquaintance of Liu Bei and his men, are you not? So let me ask you this. What kind of man is Liu Bei, in your eyes?
I see. Then when Liu Bei fulfills that potential, we may be facing two great enemies, instead of just Cao Cao. In that case, we should make sure to win him over somehow.
Whatever the case may be, bringing Liu Bei to our side will be a necessity in countering Cao Cao. Good luck, you two. The fate of the House of Sun depends on you.
Have you heard? They say Cao Cao invaded Xingye with a huge army.
Xingye? Isn't that where Lord Liu Bei is?
It was, but apparently he fled and headed to Shanyang to ask Lord Liu Song for help. Then, Lord Liu Song went and surrendered right away, instead of trying to shelter Lord Liu Bei. He probably didn't want him around because he was so well liked by Lord Liu Biao.
So, do you know if Lord Liu Bei is safe?
These are just rumors, but I hear he left and took the people of Xiangyang with him to seek help from Lord Liu Qi in Qiansha.
You mean everyone in Xiangyang? That's incredible!
Lord Liu Bei was extremely popular with the people there. I guess they all wanted to go with him.
It appears things are rather tense. Cao Cao is moving much faster than we thought. Let's see if we can head to Jiangxia, and let us hope Liu Bei is still safe. I did not expect Cao Cao to make his move this quickly, but I am glad you are safe, Lord Liu Bei. Though I must say I was surprised that you've brought your people with you.
We would not have made it here if not for the remarkable efforts made by everyone. And by Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, Zhao Yun, and Zhuge Liang in particular.
We are thankful to them as well. For it would have been a grievous blow to lose you.
Ah, and what might you mean by that? Compared to someone like Lord Sun Quan, who controls all of Jiangdong, I am but a minor leader without power or land.
Without power and land, perhaps. But you are also one of the few lords who garner a lot of attention. We believe that if we can join forces with you, we may even be able to counter Cao Cao. As we speak, he is seeking to take Jing province, a critical territory. If his invasion is successful, both your forces and ours will soon be overrun. To put it simply, we believe our interests align. Lord Sun Quan has control over Xiangdong proper, and has even expanded Wu's reach by taking in the Shan Yue and minor lords. If you wish to take on Cao Cao, it may be worthwhile for you to ally with us.
We are very grateful for the offer. We have been searching for allies as well, so we would be...
Lord Liu Bei, may I interject? Lord Lu Su's offer is truly a gracious one. However, I have a hard time believing that there is a consensus on this matter within Wu. Joining up with a small group like ours to fight against the mighty army of Cao Cao? That seems like mere bravado at best.
It pains me to admit it, but you're right. When we heard that Liu Song had surrendered to Cao Cao, We left for Jiangxia right away. Our orders in coming here were indeed to secure an alliance with Lord Liu Bei. But I cannot claim that our side has reached a consensus on the matter.
Then, it is only fair to obtain the agreement of those in Wu, for an alliance without mutual understanding will only bring division. Lord Liu Bei, I would like your permission to act as a messenger to Wu. I will convince the officers there and make this agreement a reality.
Everyone says that dance.
We've been called for a meeting. It seems a message from Cao Cao arrived just before we returned. Oh, no. I don't think allying with us would benefit them much at this point. It called for our surrender, though the language was a little less direct. Perhaps we should have expected this, but those in Wu have split right down the middle, just as Zhuge Liang predicted. There are those who claim that victory is impossible against Cao Cao, and that we should surrender before any unnecessary bloodshed. And then there are those who say we should ally with Liu Bei and resist Cao Cao with everything we have. If there is anyone capable of uniting the two factions together, I can think of no one more fit for the task than Lord Zhou Yu. But unfortunately, he is away at the moment. He is likely busy taking measures of his own to make sure we are prepared for the coming danger. Ultimately, the only way we can protect both our domain and our people is to rise up and rival Cao Cao for control of the realm. I've spoken of this plan before, haven't I? It isn't some impossible dream. I truly believe it can be done, which is why I want nothing more than to convince every person of consequence in Wu to resist the urge to surrender. But for now, I'm off to meet with Zhuge Liang. You should make your way over to the war room to wait for our arrival.
I think we can all agree that fighting Cao Cao is extremely reckless. How can we possibly hope to win against such numbers? Territory should not take priority over the safety of the people of Wu. Is it not said that needless bloodshed is the mark of a foolish leader?
I never thought I would witness the likes of Lord Zheng Jiao, suggesting we kneel to a tyrant who manipulates the Emperor and exploits all in his path. The Yellow Turbans of Qing, the Heishen bandits. They gave in to Cao Cao and have achieved distinction under his command. But in reality, their lives have been robbed of all meaning, and they now exist as nothing more than toothless beasts at the mercy of the lash. Tyranny is all that lies at the end of the path to Cao Cao's feet. Once you become a slave to his power, it becomes impossible to break free. Do you really think we should abandon our pride and forsake our future just to avoid making the sacrifice necessary to protect them?
We do not find giving up on our land and our people to Cao Cao any more tolerable than you do. But if this is what it takes for our people's lives to be spared, then is it not the best decision we can make?
He's right. There is no reason for us to sacrifice ourselves for pride. We will eventually win back everything taken from us.
With all due respect, I am honestly a little disappointed in what I'm witnessing here. The Sun clan, renowned for its brave warriors, has such cowards for officers.
How dare you!
Lord Liu Bei has no land to call home, and what soldiers and retainers he does have are far fewer in number than those of Wu. In spite of all that, he has sworn to never bend the knee to Cao Cao, and has even sent me to Wu to negotiate an alliance. He does so to save the people of Jing, who regard him with love and respect. And when I arrive here, all I see is Wu, for all its advantages, cowering beneath the shadow of Cao Cao, considering no option but surrender. No matter how many talented officers you assemble, or how well you govern your people, that cowardice makes all of Wu far weaker than Liu Bei alone.
All Liu Bei does is flee from battle to battle. He fled from Ji, he fled from You, and from Shu as well. He certainly has more courage than most, but only the foolhardy charge into battle without the strength to prevail.
So, tell us, Lord Zhuge Liang, are we to assume that you have discovered a way to defeat such a massive force?
Yes. I came here knowing that if we fight alongside Wu in this battle, there is a way for us to win. But if the mere thought of having to face a powerful enemy has robbed you of the will to fight, I'll just have to come up with a new plan. Lord Sun Quan, I highly suggest you carefully consider your circumstances and your ability to lead.
Now look here.
I understand the doubts of Zheng Zhao and the others very well. Lu Su and Lord Zhuge Liang have also made a strong case. We will end the discussion here for the time being. I need some time to gather my thoughts on what has been said. This is terrible. I'm a complete failure.
What do you mean by that?
My father laid the foundations, and my brother built Wu into the kingdom it is today. And yet I can't even muster up the courage to defend it. The shame that I feel is overwhelming. I know full well that we must fight. Yet, I can't help but realize how little chance we have of winning. War is crucial to the survival of the kingdom. But we should not fight battles we cannot win. This is a basic principle of warfare.
That is true. Lord Zhengzhao was not by any means mistaken in his reasoning. If both sides are correct in their own way, then all that is left is for you to make your choice.
Surrender and be trampled upon, or fight and face certain defeat. I don't exactly have the best options to choose from.
Where did you get the idea that those were the only two paths? I think you should choose the third path. That is to say, you should bravely take the field, win the battle, and protect all that you hold dear. Is this not also what you had in mind, Lord Zhou Yu?
Zhou Yu, you have returned.
Yes, I've only just arrived. I'm a bit later than I had planned. But Lord Zhang Zhao and the others sure were grumbling up a storm. Zhuge Liang must have really caused a commotion at the meeting.
Perhaps his words were a little too bitter for them to stomach.
He must have thought that such an approach would be the only thing that could bring Wu to its senses. But Zhuge Liang's words were not meant to merely aggravate or inspire. I think he may actually believe that we can win. He plans to lead Liu Bei to victory, even if it means wringing every last bit of strength out of Wu. He would not have voiced his discontent so strongly without firm conviction. They are fully committed to this fight. We must make use of that. My lord, I speak to you now as a loyal retainer of the House of Sun. I have prepared a secret strategy that will ensure Cao Cao's defeat, but this plan cannot work unless we are able to use Liu Bei's forces. With my plan and the brave warriors in our ranks, we can protect the lives of our people, the domain of Wu, and everything we hold dear.
But this matter has divided us into two separate factions. What can I possibly do to convince everyone to unite as one? Even the soundest strategy is meaningless without the will to fight.
I will explain to them that there is a path to victory, and then I will urge them to reconsider. And if that isn't enough to inspire them to take action, well, we'll just have to appeal to their hearts instead of their mind.
Now even Lord Zhou Yu is insisting that we risk our lives in defiance. And just how do you plan on defeating an army of that size?
The size of Cao Cao's army certainly makes it a force to be reckoned with. But numbers can be deceiving. We must first compare the strengths and weaknesses of both sides. Our disadvantage lies primarily in our inferior numbers. But what do we have that we could use to our advantage?
The enemy is far from home, and they are also poorly trained. Most importantly, long boat journeys tend to bring sickness and fatigue.
Precisely so. And that's why we will fight them on the banks of Jing. No matter how imposing a force may be on land, on water, they become a mere jumble of poorly trained soldiers.
You have a point. Well, even a huge army makes for easy prey if its movements are sluggish.
As they will be slow to maneuver, all we need is a strategy to wipe them out before they have time to escape. What we will do is burn their entire fleet to ashes.
So we are to rely on nothing but unconventional tactics and sheer luck? Even if your fire attack were to succeed, how do you know we can win?
War is of course unpredictable, and I do not claim to have the ability to know the outcome of a battle before it is fought. But to consider no outcome but defeat before even taking the field, how is that any different than losing the battle before it even begins? Now, allow me to ask you all in plain words. Which path will you choose? Will you abandon the kingdom of Wu to live carefree lives without ambition? It is true that taking such a path may prolong your lives. You may even live long enough to reclaim your land and pride. But we would not be the ones to fight and die for the cause. That task would fall to none but our own children. Lord Sun Jian, Sun Ce, and all our forefathers. What would they think? Could you justify that choice to them? If you have even one small shred of pride left as retainers of the Sun clan, as the people of Wu, you will rise up, draw your weapons, and fight with all of your strength!
He's right! We must be the ones to protect Wu, no matter how powerful the enemy may be.
You can count me in. I'll honor my ancestors by fighting to the very end, so that my father and Ce can look down on me with pride.
Those who wish to surrender should do so. That is, if there are any among us that don't mind licking the boots of our enemies.
So we have no option but to fight. However...
This discussion is now over. This is a fight for our lives. A fight for all of the people of Wu, past, present, and future. We must defeat Cao Cao's forces once and for all!
No, I am content with this decision. I was just collecting my thoughts, that's all. Where will this path lead the kingdom of Wu?
Being able to fight along...
I have such admiration for this kingdom. I'm sure in most kingdoms the leader gives orders from on high and everyone must obey. But not here. In Wu, no one is forced to serve blindly. We debate the merits of each choice and decide together. Yes, it's one of the things that I like most about our kingdom. But even so, it is very hard to get everyone to agree. I wonder how that last meeting would have gone without Zhou Yu and the others. If my father and brother were still alive to see how much Wu and I have changed, I wonder what they would say. Once gone, the dead can never come back to life. Yet, I can't help but wish I had the chance to show them. All that aside, it would be truly pathetic if we were to lose this war, given everything that's happened. I'm counting on you. We will use the unique strength of each of our soldiers to the fullest to achieve victory. That is the way of Wu.
Lord Pengtong, I know you're in there. Today's the day you're going to hear what I have to say.
Good grief! How's a man to relax with lords of the land barging in uninvited? I am a humble man of little consequence. It doesn't matter how many times you come here. Your problems are none of my concern.
Yes, I know what kind of man you are. But I have a reason for being so persistent in soliciting you to join our side. Lord Pengtong, your help will be essential to bringing Wu closer to victory. Wu's victory will ensure the safety of the people of Jiangdong, which will in turn make it possible to protect the people of Jing.
Is this your attempt to convince me? Sorry to disappoint, but that won't work on me. All life is precious, but it's not my battle to fight.
I see. Then you have forced my hand. I shall have to rely on my last resort.
Last resort? Well, I'll be damned. So they've got you doing their dirty work for them, have they?
I understand you are good friends with Lord Pengtong. Please put in a good word for us with him.
I almost feel guilty for causing you to be dragged out here. Oh, if it were anyone but you. I don't think I could ever bring myself to refuse if it meant damaging your reputation. Wu's leaders are a sinister bunch, aren't they? Fine, I'll help, but just this once.
Lord Pengtong!
But don't expect me to swear fealty or anything like that. I'm going to do things my way, no matter what.
The Yangtze's been busy these days, with even more military ships sailing about.
Sorry to bring you here so late. In the coming battle against Cao Cao, I will need you to play a central role. There is a crucial factor which must go in our favor. I want you to ensure that it does. We were afraid to say it in front of the others, but executing this strategy will be about as difficult as threading a needle on horseback.
Cao Cao is not an enemy that can be defeated without a great deal of luck. Or perhaps even a miracle.
We intend to overwhelm Cao Cao's massive army with fire. But simply starting the fires won't be enough for the plan to work.
At this time of year, the winds of the Yangtze River Basin blow from the west and the north. Cao Cao's forces are attacking from the north, so their ranks extend in the same direction. The wind will blow out our fires before they can spread.
Of course, Cao Cao is well aware of this, and likely plans to position himself to our north. But the peasantry of Jing have informed us that there is a place where the wind blows from the south for a short period at this time of year.
Chibi. They say there are times at night when a southerly wind blows down the cliffs on the southern coast.
We want to take advantage of that brief gust of wind. We'll only get one chance, so we must not waste it. You have a technique for predicting the wind, do you not?
To give this plan any chance of success, we are going to need that technique of yours.
We are currently making the necessary preparations. You don't need to worry about that. Please just focus your energy on predicting the winds. We have you with us now. Your presence here may just be yet another gift from fate. Our fate will be decided at Chibi. We will defeat them if all goes according to plan, but everything depends on us engaging them at that precise location. So in this battle, we will repel the enemy vanguard and lead their main formation to Chibi. I want you all to act as if the final battle has already begun. Proceed with all due caution. Now the battle begins.
Zuluan. No. I'm certain I have told you this before. I will not take the same path as you. So, they say Sun Quan is going to war with Cao Cao. Cao Cao has taken control of the Emperor and is now wielding the power of the throne to establish dominance over the Central Plains. I cannot turn a blind eye to his tyranny. If Sun Quan is going to fight him, then I want to help him do it. While all of you are engaging Cao Cao's main force in Jing, I will be assaulting Shu City to capture the Emperor. The Emperor is the foundation of Cao Cao's power. If we can take that advantage away from him, his influence will be greatly diminished. There are warriors among the Shanyue and the Wuhuan who hold me in very high regard. When the time comes, I will be able to rely on their help. But even so, I must admit that such a force on its own is nothing more than an unwieldy horde, which is exactly what brings me to you. I need a commander that can turn my rabble into an elite fighting force. Do you know anyone capable enough? I knew you would. If they come with your recommendation, I think it's safe to assume their abilities will meet my expectations. I will gladly meet with anyone you think is up to the task.
So, your plan is to head to Shu City to rescue the Emperor while Chuen and the others are fighting in Jing.
Well, I can't say I care for the phrase rescue the Emperor, but the Emperor has become a powerless figurehead. Whether or not tyranny will plague the land depends on those who guard him. We would likely be better off killing him, but I would rather see him with Sun Quan than under Cao Cao's control.
I suggest you show a bit more respect, Bai Luan. We will rescue the Emperor as loyal retainers of Han.
I won't apologize. You can back out if you wish. In fact, I'm amazed that you agreed to this to begin with, given our history. My actions brought about your deaths, or so I believed. Who could have guessed that we would end up on the same side of a battle?
You don't seem too pleased. But as it happens, there are many things we'd like to say to you. For one, I admit I've made a bad habit of taking things too far. I got so obsessed with building up and defending Wu that I became deaf to the voices of the Shan Yue and the people of Jiangdong. By joining forces with you, we may be able to get at least a little closer to making amends to those we've wronged.
Right. And this will also give us the chance we need to save Chuen. Convincing the world of my death is proving to be well worth the effort. I really did plan on never showing my face again. But I couldn't resist the opportunity to fight in such an important battle. But be warned, Guardian of Peace. If you dare try to lay even a finger on the Emperor, I will make you regret it.
Understood. Now, let's run through the strategy once more. Sun Quan will intercept Cao Cao in Jing. During this distraction, we will lead our troops in a surprise attack on Shu City to capture the Emperor. Of course, this is assuming that Cao Cao doesn't discover our plan. If their main force comes to the defense of Shu City, we won't stand a chance. Zuluan, you have full knowledge of our situation, but you will be the only one of us to fight alongside Sun Quan's forces in Jing. The fact that Sun Jian still lives, and that we are targeting Shu City, must be kept a total secret. You must make absolutely sure of it. I suppose I needn't worry. You have always been a man of very few words. With that settled, we will depart immediately. I'm counting on you, Zuluan. Together, we fly.